One of the principles of our belief is the justice of God.
So we are now convened.
Persons eligible to vote at meetings of the Presbytery shall include all ruling elders who serve as members of the Presbytery Leadership Commission.
Are you ready to vote? All those in favor say yes.
Providing a cost of living adjustment increase of 2.4%.
The sacraments of baptism and communion allow us to participate in this reality in a way that is a mystery and yet concrete. They allow us to participate in God's grace while being mediators of that grace. As a result of God's salvific work, thankfulness is the proper response.
But I want to ask the trick question. So which is more important, Christmas or Easter? And say more about that.
We pray that her service will be faithful. We pray that the ties between Aurora Presbyterian Church and Amber will be strong and bear great fruit for the gospel.
The Reverend Bill Van Nostrum, who currently serves as our stated supply pastor, to be eligible to be installed as the pastor of First Presbyterian Astoria.
To me. The yeses have it, and the way is clear for the congregation to call.
Parentheses C, for the Reverend Carly Friesen, who currently serves as their stated supply pastor, to be eligible to serve as the installed pastor of Mount Tabor.
Yes. All opposed say no. The yeses have it, and the way is clear for the congregation to call and install Carly Friesen.
Cascades has, through the years, in my opinion, provided an extraordinary level of service and leadership in the Synod. We had the first moderator, George Pike, and we have had chairs of committees, on and on. We have several of them here now.
Anyway, the vision of Frontier Mission is to mobilize churches, Presbyterian churches in the United States, to reach out to people who have never been reached or forgotten overseas. But now we have expanded. We are also talking about reaching out the people, unreached people whom God brought here to America.
I thought about titling this originally, What a Difference a Year Makes. Because last time I was here, I had nothing but good news. Everything was glowing, it was wonderful. We had beat our per capita budget, we had beat our Presbytery giving budget, we had come in under budget in every fund, and things were rosy. And I'm afraid I don't have quite that message this time.
Okay, thank you for your report.
Yes,
we're ready to move on.
We now own a real estate portfolio. We have not just one building, we already have 2 buildings. And by the 1st of July, we'll probably have 3 buildings. The good news is we passed the 2016 audit. The auditor found absolutely nothing wrong with the numbers, nothing wrong with the process. So big thank you to Cheryl Anderson on that. The bad, we're significantly behind on revenue. We're about 10% behind altogether. Per capita giving has been coming in slowly, and directed mission support has been slow. Actually, all of the mission giving has been slow.
Presbyterian partnership giving, what is it? Presbyterians at work around the world. Not just here, not just in your congregation, but around the world.
Wow, this is a lot of white people in our ministry. We are a group of believers in Jesus Christ, Native American, who celebrate the love of Christ in the midst of a pretty tumultuous community. High unemployment, a lot of things that go on there that can be considered pretty bad.
Just here to let you know that the Warm Springs Presbyterian Church is alive and well.
My motion is that we forgive any remaining debt owed to the Presbytery by Genesis Fellowship Church. That we encourage all Presbytery of Cascades congregations to seek partnership ministries with racial ethnic congregations and organizations, and that we set aside $200,000, which we received from the sale of the church building, to Genesis Fellowship Church, so we received the money from Genesis Fellowship Church.
These three, Pat Berger, Alita Jernigan, and Rick Ribeiro, join the ranks of honorably retired clergy.
My name is Mike Gillespie, and I am honored to be nominated for this position. I did not seek to become moderator.
I think we have 100% participation.
Even though we will soon be scattered to other congregations, we hope to bring a little of that St. Mark flavor along with us.
And the Committee on Representation is given a role under the Book of Order, something of a watchdog.
One more time, take a big breath and go, yeah. And whether you realize it or not, you have just said God's name, Yah in Hebrew.
And we Muslims really are taught to be grateful to God to whatever He gave us. And in the Quran, it says that if you really try to count the blessing of God to you, you cannot really reach a number.
And I wrestled with that 3 years ago. If you can go to the next slide. I came to some kind of conclusion sort of by accident. I staggered into an idea. And I created an initial entity that I'll share about in a second called Motown Teen Lawn Care.
Spirit of the Salmon, Water Culture and Justice in the Columbia Watershed. So this will start on Monday, and it's what we call an environmental justice immersion.
The lectionary retreat this year will be in October, the 16th, 17th, Monday, Tuesday again.
Collins lectures over the last 40 years will be focusing on how climate change disproportionately affects the world's most vulnerable people.
But I have good news, and that is we are going to survive. There's lots of money in the Presbyterian Church. We just need to pull together and figure out actually how we get used best for the future of the church. And I firmly believe that intergenerational ministry is at the core of that.
My faith journey has been one of being constantly reformed as I meet new people, seek different experiences, participate in various faith communities, and grow in knowledge and experience.
Hello, I am Ruling Elder Denise McPherson from Community Presbyterian Church of Walport. Today we are voting on amending the Book of Order, G-2.0509, referred here to as 16D1, and D-10.0401, referred to as 16D2. I'm going to speak in favor of accepting the amendment, and David Dunford is speaking against.
Thank you, Madam Moderator.
Is this going to be a comedy show?
I hope not.
Okay.
But I do want to thank you, Madam Moderator. Your preparation and poise made this meeting a success.
Mike and Greg, hi. And the grace bestowed on you in baptism is sufficient for your calling because it is God's grace. By God's grace, we are saved and enabled to grow in the faith and to commit our lives in ways that serve Christ. God has called you to a particular service.